And we will see um, the wall that my computer is currently against. Oh, is it not set to capture cursor? It should. Hang on. And my bingo is not fucking loading either for some reason, even though I like have the new URL in there for everything. Jesus. It says capture cursor. But it's not capturing the cursor? What if I I think it's because I made my cursor so big it doesn't know how to capture it. Oh boy. All right, let's maybe go to a more reasonable size. No, it's refusing to capture the cursor. God damn it, OBS. What the hell is wrong with you? Well, so much for trying to capture the cursor. I'll just have to point it out to y'all. So this is our room. As you can see, the wallpaper is coming off. And granted, the wallpaper is like 20-something years old, 21. And I'm wobbly. So, like, here's me pointing out the wallpaper. Everything's in the middle of the room right now. You can see up there on the ceiling, there's a dark spot by our fan, which is also 20-something years old. Dark spot was water damage from when our roof leaked in 2004, 2005. You can see the wallpaper's falling off there. And hopefully, I know Gino lives in similar building that I live in, just in a totally different state. And I just hope that the walls up north don't get like they do in Florida. Here's some gross shit right here. That's what my walls look like under paper. Is really fucking gross. It's a lot of mildew. I had already like just some of the wallpaper fell off easily right there, so that's why it's like that. There's the vent that comes in, and there's one of my sports bras, and there's the big water stain from the roof leaking years ago. So I even zoom in over here to go, oh, look. Where the walls join, it looks like that. We have filled that crack in. No worries. The other dark stuff up there is the molding up there is actually this dark brown color. They just painted it with a really thick white paint and caulked up the wallpaper to it, which is why the paint ripped. Because when I pulled down the wallpaper, it took the paint with it because it was joined with, you know, caulk. Whatever the caulk is, silicone or otherwise, I don't know. So this is one of the days last week. Now here's the walls after I have already stripped everything off and washed them down with bleach water and rinsed them with fresh water. You'll notice there's some gray spots because there's no actual paper on the sheetrock, and yeah, I try to tell people what kind of place we live in, and it's not that great. Here's a strange thing. Above the window, they didn't rip off the paper there. Actually, what they did there It just wallpapered over the other paper. And as you can see, the window's open because fumes must have proper ventilation. This room must have been close to 90 degrees most days. It was not the most fun to be in. But you can already see these two walls from earlier look a bit better after being bleached and washed down. That vent there is the only way AC gets into this room. The bed is all covered in plastic. And this wall, whatever reason, the walls by the closet, they're fine. This is, I guess, the south walls. They're fine. They still had paper on them and stuff. You know, looking at where the spackle bits are right there, I'm sure that's exactly what happened when I tried to hang up my flying spaghetti monster picture, is I smacked right into a fucking nail, I think, which Fizz said was likely what happened. That would tell me that there is a beam in the center and I bent two nails. There's my closet. I tried to tape it in place. It took effort. And I have an air filter in this room. Actually, I have one in every room. Here is the... This is just regular spackling, I think, the one day. Just really smoothing over everything. Or is this after I... Oh, no, this is after I textured it. And then I ran the sander over it. I sanded it, so I got tape and stuff on there. I sanded it down to make it smoother. Our old ass carpet. Everything is taped up. That needs to be taped anyway. And the corner hole is filled in. There's still some of that crap there. I couldn't cover it all up, but the corner got filled in very easily. I think this is before I put the texture on. It's just that early wall I think I had tried texturing somewhat. Or I could be completely wrong and this is after I already sanded it. I don't know. I vacuumed, so yeah, this is after all that's done. So here's after we put some Kills 2 on the walls, which is a anti-mildew, anti-moisture, anti-whatever primer that you should put on your walls before you put paint on to make sure that mildew doesn't grow and shit like that. And there I have the closet better done. The water stain is now mostly hidden from just the primer, and the lighting in here in this video made that less noticeable. That light's slightly yellow because it's an old fluorescent bulb in there. Here you go. This is basically the texture of the walls now. Kind of stucco. I did it with some natural sponges, where I just took spackle and slapped it on the wall and tap, 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 and holy hell did my hands hurt from tap, tap, tapping. And then I ran the hand sanding over it, just a strip of 80 course sandpaper on a block, and just went up and down quickly to knock off all the sharp edges because it would have sucked to get scratched by my own fucking walls. Popcorn ceiling. My camera is auto-focusing and I'm stumbling probably because I can barely walk. I was hurting. There was an outlet there. Oh, that's what I was covering up. Somewhere in that area there was a phone jack that wasn't even connected. So I was like, well, we don't even have a phone line running through here. I'm just filling it in. We still have a landline jack in the kitchen. So, you know. The corners were a pain in the butt. I ended up just taking my finger and slapping spackle on it and running it up and down the corner bits to make sure it got in there good. Hey, there's my shadow. Hey, and this I did this morning. Um, yeah, there's Odo on the bed. Oops. I did this one vertical to try to give like a better feel for how everything's laid out. I usually hate doing vertical camera. But there's the really nasty wall. It's now purple. The ceiling is a much nicer white. The cat's stars are above the bed now instead, and the cats are getting the tree. I have two trees. One of them I'm using as a curtain, basically. If I go to take a nap during the daytime, I just untie the gold cord that's on it, which is my honors cord or whatever from graduating college. And even though it looks like you could see through this thing, it darkens the room really good. I don't need a blackout. This is good enough. There's one change here, and that's that the lamp is currently in between the two desks. So yeah, there's the wall that had paper on it with the nail that I put in. This is my craft dresser. My chair and my blanket from Forever's. My God, was that 2020 that I got that work from Dubs and I still use it for my wallpaper? The cat's bed area. Again, the window, which the camera's going to darken because of all obvious reasons. I tried to quickly go over the CPAP. There's the kitchen. The room gets a little warm. I'm not going to lie on that one. It gets a little warm.